Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate you here. My name is Julia. I'm a founder of Dorian, and I'm extremely appreciative of all of you coming and cheering for us. Thank you. So, Dorian is a community of visual novel creators and fans. We've got visual novel writers, artists, and cosplayers who are making and streaming games in the same place. We're an extremely inclusive community, as you can see represented here. And we've got over 7,000 published authors on the platform and over 8,000 released interactive games. It is very easy to get started on Dorian. If you're making characters or comics, you can instantly turn them into games on our platform. There is no coding required. There are no special technical skills, and this is what we're gonna talk about now.
I was supposed to start saying, I'm sorry.
Is it you?
I was looking at the
I would like to introduce our fantastic panelists today. Let's start with you, Az.
Hi, I'm Azzy Mendel, and I am a creator on Dorian. In fact, I started as a creator on Dorian, writing stories and doing art, and then I ended up becoming part of the team, and I am now the community manager at Dorian. So I have experience both creating and working with creators on the platform, and I'm going to pass it on to Victor.
Yeah, hi, I'm Winter. Oh my god, thank you. Some of you might know me from social media. I do a lot of cosplays, and I'm on Dorian, but mainly as a cosplayer, also at this point a little bit as a creator, and I can't wait to share a little bit of my insights with you guys.
Hi, my name is President Black. I'm also a creator in Dorian. I'm an author of the What Lies Beyond story, so I'm a writer, not a cosplayer, as you can see, and I'm also glad to be here.
Hi, I'm Zach Madros. I am an artist and author on Dorian, and I make Loverboy. I'm also excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I think you might all hold it closer because to your mouth, because otherwise it's like too quiet. Thank you. So I would like to show you how it works so that you get an idea of how you can make and stream games in the same place. Can you click the play button, please, for this video?
Can you start? Is that okay?
Love. Let me give you the details on the cosplay. I get every single thing right in here. When it comes to Julian, I do not play. I get every single thing done and did it.
Woo! She's a sweetie. I thought it was very important to get the right eyes for Muriel.
We are in holiday spirit. We have the tree, we have roses, I also have a hat that doesn't match my outfit. This is a majority vote system, so I can decide what I want as an answer. I can tell you what I'm choosing. You guys can give me your own choice, and depending what you guys choose, we're gonna do what you want. It's not up to me. We're giving the vote to the people. So I will set a timer. You guys have now time to vote.
On live streams, premium choices are actually free. So this one's actually special. So waiting for that Kronk Julian TikTok. It's coming in, I promise.
Thank you, Erica, for the hearts. Thank you, Denister. Thank you, Christina.
So, as you have seen, the way it works is that anyone can make visual novels, and then people can play them alone or together on a stream. And when it's on a stream, the fans who are viewing the stream decide what happens next. So it is an instant upgrade from linear comics to include your fans into the decision-making process, into interactivity, so that it's like much more engaging compared to linear medium. And it is really easy to get started on Dorian. And actually, the first question that I have for our guests is how did you get started, and like what were your first impressions, and what would be your advice on how to get started for people who have never tried Dorian?
So I got started on Dorian because I had tried to make a visual novel on my own for a year. And we had a creative team, and we had invested in it, and we realized just how hard it is to make a game from scratch, especially when it comes to coding and to distributing. So essentially when I found Dorian, that took care of the two aspects that were missing, which were coding and distributing. So I arrived on Dorian with my art, and I started doing first Arcana things because I did not have time to make produce a lot of art, and the characters were already there, everything was already there, and I started writing into that structure. And then more recently, I started making a project that is more my own. It was incredibly fast, and the advice that I would give to anyone is give it a try, play around, have a first project that is just to test out how the platform works, and then bring something that really is close to your heart.
Well, the first thing to start, which is a very good start, is to download the app. You go to the App Store, give it Dorian, and you find it very easily. Generally download it and have a look around. What I do recommend is like check out other streamers. Also, definitely join the Discord if you have Discord. It's a great way to connect to other creators and also get tips and tricks. And if you're scared to stream alone, like find someone to stream with. That helps a lot. Or like, write other creators. I'm sure people who have done streaming a lot, I do as well. I happily stream with newcomers to show them around a bit. So yeah. Shoot me a message on like Discord.
Raise, can you talk a little bit about collaboration that helped you succeed with What Lies Beyond?
Yeah, I would add additionally to what Winter said, definitely join our Discord server, because our community is pretty big, and that's how I started. I wasn't even planning to make my own game. I met my other co-author on the Discord server, and that's how we started making the game together. And now it's one of the most popular games on the platform, getting me monthly income. So I recommend joining the Discord, teaming up with someone, and then writing your next hit story.
Which collaborative features are you using? Perhaps maybe you can answer this, like how it works.
So essentially, I work in a team of 3 people. We all live in different parts of the world, and we've never met in real life. We met through the community, and we started creating together in the community. There are different ways that you can collaborate. As an artist, you can put up your art on the platform, and you can decide either to open up publicly so anyone can use it, and you will get a revenue share from each person who uses your art on the platform. And then the alternative is you can select just one author that you want to work with, and the platform will automatically share any revenue that you make between you and the author that you're working with. So these are ways that you can collaborate on the platform.
Fantastic, thank you. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I would add that you don't even have to be from the same country. Like you told me today that you and your team, you guys never met in real life. Me and Misha, my co-author, we also never met in real life, but we are really good friends, and working together on a game was so easy, even though like we don't meet in person, but we work on it together. And I'm only a writer, I'm not an artist, she's an artist, and our collaboration been pretty successful. So you don't have to be an artist to join Dorian.
And you don't have to be a writer. So you can whatever you're missing, there's gonna be someone who has it. And another good things about collaborating is you can collaborate with cosplayers a lot because we've had many occasions in which a game got big because a cosplayer picked it up, started streaming it, started cosplaying the characters in the game. We have someone right now in the audience who's cosplaying a character from a game that was made by a creator on Dorian. So when this happens, games tend to gain traction very quickly. This happened to me. This happened to Resi, where a large cosplayer started streaming our game once a week, and we developed a true fandom of people who wait for that stream every week to see what's going on in the game.
Thank you so much. Ran, can you walk artists here in terms of how they can get started easily with the sprites that they already have?
As Dorothy said, you don't have to be an artist to join Dorian, but I am one, so I'll guide you through it. I came from webcomics, so hearing about Dorian was super exciting. I was like, where do I start? You literally just need an image of your character, and then you can upload it straight into the engine and make a sprite out of it. And it's really just like that easy. Like, oh my god, you've made a visual novel. It's as simple as that. And you can be really creative with what you're doing. You can, like on the screen currently, you can use different poses to show different expressions and movement. So every time someone's tapping through your story, it feels like alive and like it's there's motion on the screen. And I think it's very well done in the example on screen with Valerie's story, Romancing the Merman. She has a lot of this work that really adds a lot to her story just by changing the pose up every once in a while. And here we have some more.
Yeah, so to create this animation effects, you actually just need several poses or face expressions. And when people are typing, they're wowed by these animation effects while you just uploaded several versions of the same character. And it's really fun to see this. There are some more examples. Ran, if you can talk about your game.
Yes, this is my game Loverboy. I'm a big fan of using backgrounds to show moments of impact. Like, your love interest is being really cute. Suddenly there's hearts on screen and like showing some movement. Like, you're in the same cafe, but it's showing different parts of the cafe, so someone's not just looking at the same background as the story is progressing. But I'm really a big fan of the hearts one. Like, add hearts anywhere, show fluff. Yeah.
Some more examples. So here you can see how the artist used different panels to create this kind of effect. So when a player is going through the game, they can see this animation effect. There are some more that I really like. So in the first one, you can see this flirty moment where the author used several panels. It's very simple. They only needed to upload them separately, but then the player gets this animation effect. The second one is pretty spectacular as well because they just had two characters and basically their shadows uploaded. And this is how it looks to the player. Again, no animation required. And the third one is a very beautiful game called Scarlet Sky, where, I personally, when I played it, I was absolutely shocked when I saw this big half of the screen, but it was I was definitely wowed. It was fun. And it's very easy. You only need static characters and backgrounds. All right, thank you so much for walking us through this. I would like to talk about how you all are making money on Dorian, how monetization works for you. So all of the games on the platform can be started for free by your fans, but you can create, because it's interactive, you can create some premium branches for your patrons that are paid. The beauty of this is that when you create multiple branches and add some special patron-only content, people can decide when to pay money, only when they care for something that you created. For example, Robin here has great example of having different love interests in their game. So people can play free options for all love interests, but those who they care about, and they would pay for those that they care about. You do not really need to invest so much in your marketing to try and sell your comic or your book up front. It's very hard to sell something up front unless people really know you. But you can create these special moments when people already get to know you inside of the game, when they care, and you can offer some special pattern-only content for people who like it, right? So there are some examples of how guests of this panel are doing this. Perhaps let's start with Raise. Do you want to talk about your first screen? What did you do here?
I want to, but I can't because there are children present. My game involves a lot of patron-related content that is
A little spicy.
for mature audiences. And then then it's a paid content. If you don't have the hearts, you don't want to read something that's not maybe appropriate for your age, there's always a free option to skip it. But the patrons that we have and the fans of our games, those are the people who choose the paid content, and they know after episode, like after the next episodes, that we deliver. We deliver.
So we found that patrons really appreciate special art scenes that are shown only to patrons, so everyone else can potentially skip this, whereas some like big full screens scenes with your favorite character might be a date, it might be like they giving you special time, taking you out. All of this works really well, and these are some of the best examples of what patrons want to pay for. Do you want to talk about your example?
My example is, to be fair, I've been teasing the entire audience for the first 3 episodes. You get very little moments of fluff, and then suddenly there's a whole spice scene with a CG, 2 CGs I think in total for episode 4. So this is a spice. I very much enjoyed writing it, and the people that have read it loved it. So they really do like CGs. Yeah, that's mine.
Fantastic. Az, do you want to talk about your examples? And in general, like, what did you find patrons really care for?
So in my game, what we did is we took 2 pre-existing characters from a popular franchise that belongs to Dorian, and we ended up creating a story for the 2 of them to get together. We set it in modern times, and we used choice memory very heavily so that the game would remember the premium choices that users make, so that money that they're spending in one episode will continue paying off throughout several episodes, and they will get special snippets, special scenes based on the premium choices that they have made in the past. So whether or not you kiss your love interest in this episode will have repercussions throughout the story. The story is still free to play, very enjoyable for people who don't choose to pay for all the paid scenes, but we really try to encourage that the more paid scenes you collect, the more payout you're going to get throughout the game.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's talk about streaming on Dorian, because that's like something special about us, because you can like literally click the button as a creator, push your story live, and start streaming it in a minute. In fact, some of us are doing opening nights for our new releases, right? So if you want to see how Robin is doing it, please go to Dorian at 6 p.m. tonight Robin will be streaming their new episode of Shark Bait. They're releasing it today and they're streaming it live, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm 18 on that one. Which one?
That's very much
okay,
your
okay.
Please be 18 or more.
Okay. All right. So if you're 18 plus, you can join. Okay, got it. So let's talk about streaming. Why is it valuable for artists and writers to collaborate with cosplayers and streamers on Dorian? How do such collaborations help games get discovered and grow? Do you want to start?
Well, yes. I also have like one thing in general when you make a story, which is quite cool when you see people stream your story. Meaning, if you write something, there's a chance that I will read it out loud, word by word. I'm just putting that out there. But in general, it's the very fun thing of the collaborations between like artists and writers. Like again, I'm gonna refer to the Discord, which is a great way to like get everyone together. But someone maybe is like, hey, I'm bringing this new game out, and you know, this is the art, like the characters, and maybe they post them a bit early, or they text you before, like, hey, if you're interested, this is the kind of story you stream, and I get early like access to the picture maybe, and I maybe can make it happen in cosplay. So you don't just see the characters on screen, you actually see them also like talking and like reading out what they say. And then another word again, collaboration. You can collaborate with different streamers. So maybe you have more than one character that's in your story just on stream talking, and people absolutely love that in general.
When you release your game on Dorian, you get to decide how much money streamers can make off your game. We've got these revenue share tools built in. So before you release, you can say, for example, I, as an author, would like to collect 10% of the stream donations. And then streamers who play your game and get a lot of donations, they collect, say, 90%, and you get royalties automatically shared for you. It's a very cool feature, and I'm super proud of this because it took a lot of time to get it right. Thank you. So it is extremely collaborative environment and platform where you have, like, you decide as a game author what streamers get to collect. You can play with this, and streamers also can see the percentage they get from any game they select to stream, and they can also decide it's like open marketplace. Similarly, between artists and writers, the platform allows artists to collaborate with writers, gives them access to their characters, and decide how many royalties they want to collect from any proceeds. So it is like already in there, and you can really like build collaborations with many people, right? Many of us are collaborating with many different people, and it's like it definitely creates this sense of community because everyone benefits. Would you like to talk about your experience?
I have one thing to add because I don't think we mentioned that really. Like we talked about like revenue sharing. How this works for me as a streamer is basically if I stream something, like people can send me like hearts or like gifts during the stream, and like those will be like the revenue that I get, and that's like from the hearts that I get, like the percentage goes to the artist, then like the 10-20%, and the rest are like for me for streaming basically.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, like you, the creator decides what the percentage is because they own the rights. Unlike, for example, on Twitch, where sometimes small developers can be very frustrated. It's a known fact that everything is streamed for free and they get nothing. So you have this control on Dorian.
So my experience with collaborating with streamers is that my game, as I said, is a spin-off from a larger franchise, and I managed to connect with one of the most popular cosplayers of one of the characters I'm using in my game, and by sending her previews of the art that we're going to feature and the costume designs that we're going to feature in the game, she managed to cosplay live a lot of those costumes every time we had a new release, especially in the early days. And that got really exciting for people who would then tune into the stream to see the new design, to interact with her, and would find the story through her. And it was really what helped my game take off from a smaller game to now a very large game on the platform.
Fantastic, thank you. I would like to ask you, what is a great interactive choice design for a social discussion? What makes the most fun moments during the streams? Because like as a game creator or artist, you kind of want people to enjoy your games live, and it's absolutely thrilling when someone else is playing your game and it creates this huge discussion and potential controversies, these hard decisions that people are making. So you kind of really want your community playing your game live to be so engaged that they are like arguing about their decisions, and it's so fun. Can you give some examples?
I think actually quite a fun is one of Robin's stories where you have to decide, like, you notice at a certain point you need to decide. My Life is Now fan fiction, where you have two love interests, and you notice at one point that the decision you're making is either towards the one or towards the other. So you at this point realize you can only go after one fully. And that was a whole moment of sit down. Okay, we need to decide, what do we do? And then a whole discussion with the chat happened, and then we decided. I'm very happy with the decision. But it's a lot of interacting as well, so that's great.
So the way that we use choice memory in our game, that's called Modern Arcana, Faking It, is very much meant for streaming as well. And throughout the game, we essentially developed a series of like point systems for different collectible choices. And the more choices you collect, the better it is. Because all premium choices are free on stream, this makes it very engaging on stream, even if you don't have a lot of money to purchase them on the game when you're playing by yourself. And this creates a lot of conversation. So for example, one of the kinds of choices that we have is our whole game is structured around a fake dating trope. So some choices are meant for you to be convincing people around you that you are a real couple, and you need to be making the right choice sometimes, which one is going to convince people the most, to collect points towards a secret episode that only people who collected enough points are going to unlock. So during streams, people really do get engaged in talking, okay, it's this choice, no, it's that choice, and they argue over it, and it's a lot of fun. Another nice one that we integrated is the one that we see on the stream, where at the beginning of the fake dating relationship, they set base rules for their arrangement, and throughout the game you get to break them one by one. And sometimes you have to decide, is it a good idea to break the rule? Is it a bad idea to break the rule? And people discuss about it in the stream.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And I would also like to talk about cosplay, because majority of the streamers on the platform are beautiful cosplayers, just like all of you. And cosplayers are always looking for something iconic to cosplay, right? And it's interesting how you can, as an artist, you can be thinking like, how can I create these iconic characters that other people want to cosplay, they will remember, and then perhaps, you create something on Dorian today, at next MCM, Comic Con, people will go around and cosplay your characters. Isn't it thrilling, right? So we saw some of our original content creators on the platform get their characters cosplayed really quickly. And perhaps, Winter, you can talk about it. I know that you have some examples. Like, what makes you want to cosplay a character?
Well, I'm going to do a little self-teasing. These two characters are from my story.
And I work with the artists together to make sure that the designs are, in my case, very easily cosplayable. So I wanted to go with like base clothing, like as we see, like the white-haired guy, he's called Atlas. Like he has a white shirt, a black jacket, a face mask, and a beanie with ears. And I think he is one of my most cosplay characters because he's so accessible to cosplay. Then next to it we see Pandora, who is a little bit more technically, like a more difficult, but again, very easily like obtainable. Like it's a red dress. It doesn't have to be that specific as we have a red dress and a blonde wig. It's very clearly already like readable as the character. So I work a lot with that. We have good color schemes. I think you have a good point there to add, maybe.
Yeah, this is coming. So, Winter is talking as a cosplayer. I'm gonna start talking about this more as an artist. That when it comes to making a character easily cosplayable, you need to make it very easily recognizable. So, working within a color palette with very recognizable colors. It doesn't need to be all the same colors, but they need to be either very bright colors or very muted colors, and they usually communicate something about the character's personality. When you see these two characters based on their color palettes, one is a very warm, soft color palette, a very curved shape. The other one is very sharp edges, very cool, cold colors. You instantly get a vibe out of these characters. You know that one is going to be more approachable than the other. You know that one is going to be colder than the other. And this is how you would communicate personality through a very simple, very cosplayable design.
Yesterday when we spoke about it, you mentioned that personality should be like very attractive for people.
Yeah, I think another thing that like is good to keep an eye on when you design characters is that not always has to be, but like most characters that you look at them and you already get a sense of the character. So the design fits the character, that makes them very approachable. Like here as well, we see like the one on the, I think it's the left for you guys. I'm not sure, like the shark one. He looks shy also with the pose he's having. So also the posing of your character can make a lot of an impression of what kind of character he is. So, and then of course he's very like well put together. And another thing which is very cool for the character design is if you have like one very recognizable like detail. For example, for Lucio, which I'm cosplaying right now, I could style this wig any way I want. I could also probably wear any outfit as long as you see the eyes and like these tiny tattoos, kind of like eyeliner thingies, you know which character it is, which makes them like immediately very recognizable. And small details like this can make them very enjoyable to cosplay.
Same with Julian. I do not identify as cosplayer, but when I see Julian, I want to cosplay him because it's like red hair, eye patch. It's like easy to recognize and it's very approachable and at the same time memorable. I know that if I cosplay Julian, people would know who I'm cosplaying, even though I'm not great at this. I will next time. All right, fantastic. Let's move on. I think yes. So one of the last questions that I would like to cover with you is how to make money on streams and what makes your patrons want to donate live. Like, how do you use Dorian for this? Ran, would you like to start? Because I know you hosted a fundraiser last week.
Yeah, I did. As Winter said when they were talking, your viewers can give you hearts while you're streaming. So, as a fun little thing for my Story Lover Boy, I decided to get a load of my friends who happen to be streamers, like Resident Black was a part of it, and all of the hearts that were donated throughout that entire streamathon is going directly to give out an LGBTQ foundation, which is incredible work. That if you give your audience a reason to give you money, that always helps, like fundraising for charity, or if you're moving out, or like any sort of cause, give them the incentive, or even heart goals are a thing on Dorian. Like, if we get to 100, I'll sing a little song, or I'll do a giveaway, anything like that, that's a fun little thing to get people giving you money. It's always a nice incentive. But yeah, the streamathon went incredible, and Dorian's raised money to give out before. If you want to do a charity thing with them, I'm sure they'll be more than happy. Just contact them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Do you want to talk about working with your patrons on streams? Because I think you have fantastic results and examples of how your patrons are supporting you.
I have very great Patreons. They're also very great Patreons. They're very, I'm gonna be honest, like they like taking control of my streams. For example, if you send multiple hearts, but you send small, they start popping up and they can cover the text, and then I'm stuck and I cannot read. And I'm like, okay, we're done. And then they just keep sending it because they like messing with me, which is a lot of fun. Like, let them mess with you, have fun with them. Or also, when they're bullying me, I'm like, I'm sorry, we'll end this stream, I don't enjoy this. And they're like, no, stay. And I'm like, if we reach the hard goal, I maybe do 30 minutes longer. And then they will, sometimes we reach them. It's usually when we're very close to the hard goal anyways, but it gives them a little extra. But just talking about hard goals, it's a very cool mechanism that's in the live streams. It's basically you have different levels, and when you reach 100 hearts, level 2 is reached, and it also shows up, so the whole entire stream gets a little bit of a, oh wow, we got to level 2, which is super cool. And I also keep tab of the most ever hearts we took, and sometimes when we get close, I'm like, do you guys think we can overtake it? And people get very ambitious, it's great.
Fantastic, thank you so much. And I want Robin to talk about the recent success with Sharkbait and how you totally delivered on streams, because the audience was going wild last Friday.
Last Friday I got drunk on stream. I turned it into a drinking game, to be honest with you. It was a big mistake. We went through an entire bottle of wine. I don't think that's what they brought me up here to talk about though. So basically, as we know with a lot of social medias, you can't really make a decent income, streams and TikTok takes 80% of all gifts that you get on live streams, which is a lot, and even then you're just kind of sat there. At least with Dorian, you can do something while you're going on about it. But I have ended up making a close circle of fans that are every single stream I go to. They donate way too much, and I'm so flattered every single time they do. But honestly, we have this whole community, and I know it sounds really cheesy, you end up with your regulars that always come on, and whether they're there just supporting you every single time without donating, or whether they aren't, I have never made as much money streaming as when I streamed on Dorian, and I've never made as many really close connections with my fans as I have on other ones, because we all get to bond over things that you wouldn't normally talk about, like types and other things that I won't go into because PG-13. But my fans also really like to joke, because everyone has personas, right? So you'll act certain ways in live streams, whether you want to or not. You put on the mask, you do that. I have 2 different personas apparently. We have the Instagram and TikTok live streams. Everyone's like, oh my god, Robin's so sweet, aren't they adorable? And then they see me on Dorian and they're like, who is this? Where did you come from? Why are you so thirsty? And I think it's really good because it means you can relate to people on a much deeper level, because at the end of the day, we're all just thirsty fanboys and girls and gals and beans and people. So just thirst after people together and get paid doing it. That's all, I guess. Bye. Play Sharkbait.
You make me so happy, because it's the main reason why we originally started the company, because I personally have been in the games industry for a long time, and game companies are making a lot of money. Games are this great medium for earning money, and the whole idea behind Dorian was to democratize the tools for game creation so that individuals can tap into this. And oftentimes, we as creators and creative personalities are very coy about making money, but we cannot do this full time or even half time if we do not make anything. In order to keep going, we need to be able to earn money, and that's why we started Dorian, so that people can actually earn money from digital content creation, because it is work. We're consuming a lot of this content pretty much non-stop every day, so these creators deserve to make money out of this, right? Awesome. Thank you so much. So if you want to get started, it's really easy. We actually announced a creator contest today that will last for the entire month of November. By the end of November, you've got to make 6 episodes on Dorian, and you're basically trying to make the most cosplayable characters that cosplayers will want to play. And the winners, there will be 2 categories. The winners are gonna win $500, and you can actually start earning from your fans as well. Again, it's super easy. It's 6 episodes, right? And every episode is taking like just a few hours to make. You've got to join our Discord. It's discord.gg/Dorian to talk to all of us. We're all there, very collaborative. We answer all of the questions. There are no stupid questions, so do not be shy about it. What would you like to add?
Yeah, I was going to add that if you are interested in getting involved, come talk to me. I will be at our booth, which is just a few rows down that way. I am wearing the sparkly coat so you can see me. And so always come talk to me. I'm the Dorian community manager. I'm your person to get started with anything involving Dorian. And come join our Discord. I answer 24/7 essentially.
Thank you so much. So join us for what we call our version of NaNoWriMo, Dori Story Rimo, for the month of November, and produce your first game. You can do it and you can win. And even if you do not win, I promise that cosplayers are going to pick up your game and cosplay your original characters. If you have at least one original character, you can get started immediately and produce something tomorrow. I promise you. Do you have any questions? We got free stickers for every question here, so please go.
So, I kind of used to sort of write on this other platform, but how easy is it to write on Dorian? Because there's a few certain fanfics I've made in the past that I kind of want to make as a game.
When it comes to adapting fan fictions to game, come talk to me because next week we will be hosting How to Get Started stream on Dorian, specifically on how to turn fan fiction into games. Because my first game on Dorian was turning a fan fiction into a game. So we're going to be specifically doing a lecture about that, and you can help us. Come find me and I will help you out with that.
Thanks.
Thank you for your question. Any more questions? No? All right, I have more stickers. Okay.
So, when you're doing when it comes to art and stuff, I saw that I didn't realize how customizable the art and the background was. So, what would you say is the level of customization when it comes to that?
If you can imagine it, you can do it. That is the level of customization. You can, up to the point of reinventing, depending on the amount of time that you want to spend on it, you can essentially create comic panels from scratch on the platform.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Sticker there. All right, nice.
We have.
How long ago did you start the Discord? Is there a big community?
Yes, our community on Discord is it's a big community, it's an extremely involved community. We've had many successful collaborations that started on Discord. Resi is the perfect example of that, where they were fairly new to our Discord and right away they managed to partner with an artist with a significant following on Instagram.
I also achieved being a Discord mod.
So we've got an app where you publish your games and stream, but we also have a Discord where like people discuss and collaborate, and it's basically a community Discord. Yes, which is super cool.
And also one thing I'd like to add in general, like the people you see here are the people like behind Dorian, so you can actually interact when you are on the Discord. You interact with these people. You don't interact with like some random strangers, really. Like they're the people that are here right now, and I think it's fantastic. Like they put the amount of work in this. So I just want to like give that information out there because like they put a lot of work into this, and I think it's great to finally have a platform where we can share all of this.
Thank you so much, Winter. Do we have more questions? All right.
Hi, I know only a snapshot about your platform, and I joined the panel a little bit late, so I apologise if this has been answered. Obviously, there's going to be a priority for it to be original content, because obviously you can't use other licensed characters. And launching original projects is always going to be very difficult. Do you offer a lot of support or FAQs for new creators who want that kind of advice on how to then, once they've created something, how to then launch it and take it to market and find their audience?
Oh, absolutely. Let me get a little bit into that. So we do have a few properties that allow essentially creators to make spin-offs out of them. So we have all of the art assets already on the platform. What I do on the platform is I only operate onto existing properties. I have not created my own characters at this point. To answer the other question, yes, we do offer a lot of support in the sense that we do have many artists that publish art packets that you can start using you start using them for free, and then they essentially have a revenue share where they will get a percentage of your proceeds from using their art. And our team is always very available if you have a story idea, if you have a game idea, to help you figure out the best way to launch it, how many episodes you should launch with, when you should launch, and we will also help you optimize it once it's out, because something that Dorian offers to creators is very extensive data on user behavior on your game. So based on that, then our team will be able to give you very specific feedback to appeal to your specific audience.
We've got some events for writer and artist collaboration, so you can actually like pitch your story and find artists. I assume you want to write, but you're not an artist, right? Oh, you're a marketer. Okay, fantastic. Well, you can make it because you are a marketer. Everyone will want to play your game because you know how to market it, right? But would you like to collaborate with an artist? Yeah, so if you want to get started, join our Discord. There's a link there, like it's discord.gg/Dorian, and you can like find someone or just ask us, and we will help you to get started because we do have a lot of resources. Join us at our post. It's 2037. Like we can just give you all of the links you need to get started. Any more questions?
Sorry, just to add on to that, another reason to join the Discord, there are like semi-regular presentations held by Dorian staff and people doing very well on Dorian platform to teach you the best practices and like what covers perform well and like how to do your lead-in lines and how to stream even. So like join the Discord. It has everything, has wonderful people and wonderful presentations.
In fact, we just because of MCM, we scheduled a lot of different presentations on Dorian live streams for people like you to get started, both with cosplay and game creation. And it's going to be like lots of these events. You can just go to our apps and schedule for the live streams and just dance those that you like. It's going to last for like a couple of weeks, right?
It's going to be hopefully most of the month of November.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello there. So I'm not a creator myself, but my partner is. But what would you say is currently the biggest weakness your app is facing, and what are you actively doing to combat that weakness?
That's a good question. Maybe I should take it. I think we want to do more communication on the app because, to be honest, like as you heard, people referred to our Discord a lot, and we actually should have more communication on our app, not on Discord, because Discord is not our product. So this is something that we're working on now to kind of help transition more of this communication and collaboration to the app because it's going to be more accessible so that people do not have to go out of their way to find our Discord. There are more people obviously on our apps and on our Discord in general, so we want to make this communication more accessible. Right now we've got live streams where you can like chat live, but there are no DMs, for example. There is no like chat, and this is something that we are literally working on. Our product manager is this guy, and he's working on this right now as we speak. Does it answer your question? Your free sticker. Thank you for your question. It made me think. Any more questions? There's one there.
I'm just wondering from a writing standpoint, how long does it usually take an episode for you to create? Does it take you a lot of time to come up with the stuff? How long does it really take for you to get it into the game for it to be out there?
I can answer this one. So my team has been releasing one episode a week, but we usually are able to write a couple of episodes a week, and then it takes longer, mostly because we have new art. So usually it's the art that keeps us waiting, but when it comes to the writing, we don't recommend an episode be more than 2,500 words, and that's very achievable in a very short period of time because people respond very well to frequent updates but short episodes, so that makes it very easy to get into a schedule, get into a pace.
Would you like to answer like how much it takes you to produce art? Because you can kind of reuse a lot, right?
Yeah. I think I normally dedicate one day entirely to doing a CG. The writing is the easy part for me because I just start thinking about my OCs and then it just spirals from there. Whereas the art side of things is okay, what part of the scene do I want the CG for? I think is you need to look at your script and be what part is the good part that you want the art of. But I normally dedicate at least a day a week if I'm going to include a CG. I make a lot of sprites where I'll do 1 day CG, 1 day sprite work, and then the rest of the week is cozy writing, copying, pasting into the engine. It's lovely. But yeah, you can make a lot. It just depends how intense you want to be with it. You sprite work. I'll do all my sprites in 1 day. A CG, I'm no, because it needs love and everyone needs to know I poured everything into it. So. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Awesome. We've got a lot of artist-writer collaboration, so it's kind of divide and conquer tasks, right? And then the engine, the portal, allows you to create almost like Google Docs together in the same space, remotely. You can just say, okay, I'm going to write today, and then you can check it out and upload art tomorrow, or vice versa. So it is it helps a lot when you create a supportive team. Also, it's very nice to work with other people because you hold each other accountable and actually deliver, right?
I have a story about this because I'm here now, so I can't work on my story. And yesterday I was just back in the hotel checking that my team was working and I could see them working in real time.
It's fantastic. Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you so much. Oh, you've been phenomenal today. Oh, you want one more question? Sure. Another hard question for me.
So you mentioned about collaboration between writers and artists, and that's amazing, and how you keep each other accountable. Unfortunately, not always you can rely on people because life happens. What are there any measures to protect the writer or the artist in case
something happens and the story cannot continue? Is it a waste of time, or is like, how do you protect each other from that?
So this has to do with each individual team, and some people just prefer to work alone because they feel more comfortable like that. I personally have written agreements with my teammates, and we came up with terms ourselves. That is not something that goes through the platform. That is something that for each creator. We've had a situation where we were a team of 3 and someone left at some point, and it's always important to understand what is the bare minimum of work that you need to complete your project, and know that if it's more than 2 people, usually there's a chance that you will need to replace. Make sure that if the project is your own, you trust the people that you work with.
If you were like the main creator of the project, there are some protections for the main creator. You have control over different roles. So when you add people, you can add them as co-authors, so their name will appear. You can add them as editors, and you can add them as viewers, and you can remove them. So basically, it's kind of like protection for the main author, less so like if your collaborators want to sign an agreement with you, you need to do this off platform. But if you started it, you are in control. And take your sticker, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. You all are phenomenal, and I'm so happy we had this great conversation with you. Thank you. Thank you all. It was so fun. Thanks a lot. Hope to see your games and your cosplays on Dorian soon. I would be so happy if you release something during the month of November. Let's get started. Thank you.